So maybe take us through the early days, because I guess you had this idea, how can I make a great cocktail that's as easy as pushing a button on a Keurig machine, right? What did you do next?
Yeah, so we looked at, okay, how do we again prototype to make sure this thing works? There was a lot of meetings where we were bringing this very rudimentary product to huge hotel chains, and the product didn't work. It couldn't power on, and I'm sitting there with like all these suits behind me, and it was super embarrassing. And a lot of those times, man, you get one shot, like to get these people in a room, and we've blown a lot of those. But it's like, hey, you got to take it though. You just got to take the shot, because you might never get it again, right? And so again, I don't know how, if I probably would change a few things. Maybe I'd be a little more patient. But yeah, we had this concept. Okay, how do we bring it to life? It was talking to a lot of people. I mean, we talked to thousands and thousands. We would do small events and little shows and little gatherings where we would get people to try the drink. And this was all like, hey, can we show up for free and we'll give samples of our cocktails? And we weren't paying. And they would say, yeah, of course, like this is cool. Let's local play events. And we would just interview folks and say, okay, what would you pay for this? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? What do you think about and most of it was about the taste, right? Because everyone right away thought, oh, this is super cool. Oh, my cousin thought of something like this. This is, because of the Nespressos, Keurigs, Tassimos, this isn't some foreign concept of, a capsule-based beverage system, right? So everyone got it instantly, but it's like, if the taste isn't there, it's going to be a gimmick. And we recognize that early on. And it's like, so we said, okay, hey, we can focus on the appliance and, build up. And we did. We started to hire people, mechanical engineers and folks who had experience in China. And we tooled up in China actually to make the appliances. We hand assembled, we brought them into Canada. We hand assembled our first wave of units, right? And we just recognized early on, it's like, this is such a capital drain. The margins aren't great on the appliance, right? Obviously, and hardware, can be difficult there because of the working capital requirements, as a small company. And then the fact that you've got to have all these resources when, at the end of the day, if the cocktail's not completely amazing, who cares about the appliance, right? I mean, it's a gimmick. So we basically licensed. What we did, we found partners who are experts at the hardware, and we were at like 95%. Like I said, we assembled and we shipped, over 1,000 units that we did. But we decided to pass it on, basically like license the technology and the hardware to different co-manufacturers who can do it for us and pay us a royalty, distribute for us, handle the working capital, handle the service and the sales. So it checked every box, and it allowed us to then focus completely on creating more cocktails, better cocktails, and building up that roadmap.
So that was a big shift though, right? Because you and your partner originally, like one did the hardware.
That's right.
Was that Brian Federer?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So,
and then you were focusing on the capsules. So that can't have been without a lot of intense discussion, right?
It was, and fortunately, he was very smart people. We had another person that was another co-founder, who ended up getting poached by Apple and is a senior engineer there. And again, it's all very amicable. But at the end of the day, this is no longer a hardware company. They were mechanical engineers, right? And we were able to leverage the mechanical engineer wing at some of the biggest facilities in the US. And we now have partnerships with Hamilton Beach Brands, who's, been doing it over 100 years, Stanley Black & Decker.
I was going to say Black & Decker's doing this Bev machine, right?
That's right.
And how's that different than the Bartesian machine?
Yeah, so it's a little more, I guess we'll call it utilitarian. So, the Bartesian machine is extremely focused. It's beautiful, sexy, elegant. It's something you're proud to put on your countertop. And not to say the Bev isn't. It looks great as well, and it works really well. But it's you actually put the bottles. It's very cool. You put the liquor bottles and you showcase them, and there's lights. And you're right. And so instead of pouring it in like the Bartesian, it's glass reservoirs, very elegant, sexy. The way the Bev works is you take your bottle and there's a metal straw that puts in the port. And so you can really display, it's like a liquor cabinet that
Oh, wow.
makes you great cocktails at a push of a button. So it's really slick, but it's, in the way I look at it is it's more focused on, the man cave, the bar,
Okay.
whereas the Bartesian is kind of like everyday kitchen countertop.